In parts of Accra, dust clouds rise, blanketing the sky with an unsettling haze. It's a stark visual, a constant reminder of the changes sweeping through the city. This isn't the familiar Hamatan dust carried by desert winds. This is something different, something more immediate and impactful. It's not from the Hamatan, but from bulldozers tearing down homes. These machines, symbols of progress and development, are leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. They represent a force reshaping the urban landscape, often with little regard for the lives and communities that are being uprooted. Families watch in shock, their faces etched with disbelief and despair. They stand by helplessly as the places they called home are reduced to rubble, their memories and sense of security crumbling along with the walls. The weight of the moment is palpable, the shared experience of loss and uncertainty, as their lives are reduced to rubble. The physical destruction mirrors the emotional devastation, leaving behind a landscape of broken dreams and shattered hopes. What was once a vibrant neighborhood is now a wasteland of debris, a stark reminder of the human cost of development. The government claims these demolitions are for flood control, to clear waterways and prevent disasters. They argue that these actions are necessary to protect the city from the devastating effects of flooding, a recurring problem in Accra. The intention, they say, is to create a safer and more resilient urban environment for all. But for those losing everything, the explanation rings hollow. The promise of a safer future offers little comfort when their present is being torn apart. They question the fairness and transparency of the process, feeling like they are being sacrificed for the greater good, without adequate compensation or alternative solutions. Accra's rapid growth has collided with a complex land system, a system steeped in tradition and often lacking clear legal frameworks. The city's population is booming, putting immense pressure on land resources and creating a breeding ground for disputes and conflicts where chiefs allocate land that may later be deemed illegal. This creates a precarious situation for homeowners who believe they have acquired land legitimately, only to find out later that their titles are not recognized by the state. The intersection of traditional authority and modern governance creates a complex and often confusing landscape. Homeowners, believing they had legitimate titles, invested their life savings in building their homes, creating a sense of stability and belonging for their families. They followed what they believed to be the proper channels, trusting in the system to protect their rights and investments. Now find themselves in the crosshairs of progress, caught between the city's ambitions for modernization and the realities of a flawed land tenure system. They are the collateral damage of a system that prioritizes development over the rights and well-being of its citizens. The trauma is real. Children's schooling disrupted, their lives thrown into chaos as they are forced to leave their homes and communities. The disruption extends beyond the immediate loss of housing, impacting their education, social connections, and overall well-being. Livelihoods lost, communities shattered, leaving behind a trail of broken families and displaced individuals. The social fabric of these neighborhoods is torn apart, leaving residents feeling isolated and vulnerable. The sense of community, built over years of shared experiences, is irrevocably damaged. The city's struggle is not just about water, about managing the flow of rivers and preventing floods. It's a multifaceted challenge that requires a holistic approach. It's about planning, governance, and the human cost of hasty decisions. It's about creating a sustainable and equitable urban environment that prioritizes the needs of all its citizens, not just a select few. It's about ensuring that development benefits everyone, not just those in power. Is demolition the only answer, the only solution to Accra's complex urban challenges? Are there no alternative approaches that could minimize the displacement and suffering of its residents? Or a symptom of deeper failures? A reflection of systemic issues that need to be addressed in order to create a more just and equitable society? Land in Accra is a tangled web of tradition and modernity, a complex interplay of customary practices and formal legal frameworks. Navigating this web requires a deep understanding of the historical context and the competing interests at play, with blurred lines and shifting rules making it difficult for ordinary citizens to understand their rights and protect their investments. The lack of clarity and transparency creates opportunities for corruption and exploitation, further marginalizing vulnerable communities. Investments turn to dust overnight, leaving families with nothing to show for their years of hard work and sacrifice. The financial losses are devastating, pushing many into poverty and creating a cycle of despair, leaving ordinary Ghanaians to pay the price for systemic lapses, for the failures of governance and planning that have led to this crisis. They are the victims of a system that has failed to protect their rights and ensure their well-being. The social fabric is torn as communities are uprooted and families are separated, weakening the bonds that hold society together. The sense of belonging and collective identity is eroded, leaving individuals feeling isolated and disconnected, and the future is uncertain for many as they struggle to rebuild their lives and find a new place to call home. The trauma of displacement can have long-lasting effects, impacting their mental and physical health, as well as their ability to secure a stable future. While flood prevention is vital, the methods raise tough questions about fairness, equity, and the value of human life. Are there more humane and sustainable ways to achieve the same goals? Are we sacrificing people for poor planning? Are we prioritizing development over the well-being of our citizens? These are questions that Accra must grapple with as it continues to grow and evolve. The dust in Accra isn't just debris, it's not just the remnants of demolished buildings. It represents something far more significant. It's a sign of unresolved questions and broken trust, a symbol of the challenges facing Accra as it strives to balance development with the needs of its people. It's a call for greater transparency, accountability, and a more humane approach to urban planning. The government says demolitions are about flood control, but doubts persist. Accra floods easily, and clearing waterways seems logical on paper. Yet after the Akosombo Dam spillage, the response was relief, not demolition. Why are only certain areas targeted now? Some flood-prone zones remain untouched, fueling suspicion of hidden motives. Is this about public safety or freeing up land for lucrative development? Without a transparent citywide flood plan, these actions seem selective and inconsistent. Where are the early warning systems, green infrastructure, or sustainable drainage? Instead, we see piecemeal demolitions, not holistic solutions. The lack of a comprehensive strategy leaves residents anxious and distrustful. If flood control is the goal, why not invest in smarter, less destructive approaches? The current path treats symptoms, not causes, and leaves too many questions unanswered. Take a moment to look at the Netherlands, a country where a significant portion of the land lies below sea level. It's a landscape constantly challenged by the threat of water, a place where the relationship between land and sea is a delicate balance. Yet, despite this inherent vulnerability, the Netherlands is not drowning in fear. They haven't succumbed to the anxieties that such a geographical reality might inspire. The Dutch have, in fact, mastered the art of living with water. They've embraced innovation as their primary tool, transforming a potential threat into an opportunity for ingenuity and resilience. Their approach is rooted in coexistence, not destruction. They seek to understand and work with the natural forces at play rather than attempting to dominate them through brute force. A prime example of this philosophy is their Room for the River program. This initiative strategically gives rivers more space to flow, acknowledging their natural behavior and reducing the risk of flooding in populated areas. This involves a harmonious blend of engineering prowess and natural processes, creating solutions that are both effective and environmentally conscious. Instead of simply raising dikes endlessly in a never-ending battle against rising water levels, they strategically create floodplains to absorb excess water and intelligently guide its flow, minimizing damage and maximizing safety. This comprehensive approach required meticulous planning, active community input to ensure that the solutions met the needs and concerns of the people, and sustained long-term investment to ensure the infrastructure's effectiveness and longevity. Their flood defenses are not isolated structures, but rather an integrated network, constantly monitored with advanced technology and continuously improved based on data and experience. In the Netherlands, cutting-edge technology and time-honored traditions work hand in hand, creating a synergy that strengthens their resilience. This is exemplified by their waterboards, institutions with a rich history dating back centuries, demonstrating a long-standing commitment to water management. The Dutch didn't wait for disaster to strike before taking action. They proactively planned for generations to come, understanding that effective water management is a long-term endeavor. Their innovative solutions not only protect against floods but also enhance the environment, creating a more sustainable and livable landscape. These solutions are designed to be sustainable, ensuring that they protect and preserve the environment, not degrade it. Ghana can draw valuable lessons from this Dutch model, adapting its principles to address its own unique challenges. The Dutch example demonstrates that proactive engineering-led strategies, when implemented thoughtfully and sustainably, can be highly effective in managing flood risks. Mass demolitions, while sometimes considered, are certainly not the only or necessarily the best way to manage floods in a sustainable and equitable manner. The Dutch experience vividly illustrates that true resilience stems from a spirit of coexistence with nature, not from engaging in a constant and ultimately futile conflict with its powerful forces. It's fundamentally about foresight, careful planning, and thoughtful design, not simply resorting to brute force and reactive measures. So why not carefully consider and adapt these valuable lessons from the Netherlands to shape a more resilient and sustainable future for Accra? In Japan, floods and typhoons are a constant and formidable threat, a recurring challenge that demands unwavering attention. The country's geography and climate make it particularly vulnerable to these natural disasters. But their response isn't resignation, it's innovation, a relentless pursuit of solutions to mitigate the impact of these events. They've turned adversity into an opportunity to pioneer cutting-edge flood control measures. A prime example is the G-CANS project near Tokyo, a testament to Japanese ingenuity and engineering prowess. It's a vast underground system, a subterranean network of tunnels and reservoirs designed to safeguard the city. This incredible infrastructure diverts floodwater away from densely populated areas, effectively protecting millions of residents and businesses from the devastating consequences of inundation. Japan's approach to flood control is multi-layered, a comprehensive strategy that combines various techniques and technologies. This includes reinforced embankments along rivers, providing a strong defense against overflowing waters. They also utilize retention ponds, strategically located to capture and store excess rainwater, reducing the risk of flash floods. And they've invested heavily in advanced warning systems using real-time data and sophisticated models to predict and alert communities about impending floods. But technology alone isn't enough. Community preparedness is absolutely key. Regular drills are conducted to ensure that citizens know how to respond in the event of a flood, and clear evacuation routes are established and well marked, guiding people to safety. These measures, combined with swift emergency response, save lives and minimize the impact of disasters. Their infrastructure is ambitious, a testament to their commitment to protecting their citizens. But so is their unwavering commitment to public safety, a value deeply ingrained in their society. The primary focus is always on protecting people, ensuring their well-being and security, and importantly, not displacing them from their homes and communities. Japan invests heavily in both cutting-edge technology and meticulous urban planning, recognizing that both are essential for effective flood management. This holistic approach is aimed at building resilience citywide, creating urban environments that can withstand the challenges of climate change. So, what's the lesson for Ghana? It's that bold engineering solutions are not just desirable, but absolutely necessary. And that meaningful community engagement is crucial for ensuring the success and sustainability of any flood management strategy. By embracing these principles, Ghana can proactively prevent disaster and protect its communities. Effective flood management isn't about destruction and displacement, it's about building a safer future. It's about embracing innovation and prioritizing readiness, ensuring that communities are prepared for whatever challenges may come. With strong political will and dedicated leadership, anything is possible. Resilient cities capable of withstanding the impacts of climate change are within reach. The Japanese model serves as powerful proof that effective flood management is achievable. It demonstrates that saving lives and protecting homes can and should go hand in hand. So why not aim for the same level of protection and resilience in Accra, building a future where communities thrive, even in the face of adversity? Singapore, a dense, rainy city, manages floods without mass demolitions. Their ABC Waters program turns drains into beautiful, functional waterways. Parks and community spaces double as flood defences, blending utility with beauty. Green infrastructure, like permeable pavements and rain gardens absorb stormwater naturally. Smart sensors and underground tunnels manage water efficiently. Singapore's approach is holistic, integrating water management into city design. Flooding is tackled from multiple angles, reducing risk without destroying homes. The result, a livable, resilient city where water is an asset, not a threat. Ghana can emulate this by prioritizing innovation and community well-being. The key is planning for people, not just for water. The Netherlands, Japan and Singapore prove that urban flooding can be managed without mass demolitions. Their success is built on vision, investment and a willingness to innovate. Ghana has the knowledge and technology available. What's missing is commitment. Demolishing homes signals a failure to explore better options. Leaders could invest in sustainable drainage, green projects and proactive maintenance. Instead of bulldozers, we could build resilient, greener communities. The choice is clear. Continue with reactive demolitions or embrace smarter, more compassionate solutions. Ghana's urban future depends on the path chosen now. Accra's land crisis is rooted in a complex system where chiefs and the state overlap. Chiefs sell land, sometimes without proper checks, leading to homes built in risky areas. When regulations clash with tradition, ordinary people pay the price. Allegations of collusion and corruption deepen mistrust. Homeowners lose everything when approvals are revoked or agendas shift. The lack of clear, enforced land policies fuels chaos and repeated demolitions. Until land governance is reformed, citizens remain vulnerable to both floods and bulldozers. Accra's cycle of floods and demolitions reveals a lack of vision among leaders and planners. Demolition is a last resort, not a strategy. Local experts are sidelined and short-term fixes prevail over sustainable solutions. The media rarely asks tough questions or demands accountability. We need leaders who champion innovation and prevention, not just crisis management. It's time to shift from reacting to planning, building a future that's both safe and humane. Accra's demolitions demand a new approach to urban challenges. The pain of displacement can't be justified when better options exist. Global examples show what's possible with vision and commitment. Leaders must invest in long-term humane solutions, not quick fixes. Accountability and transparency are essential. We must demand leadership that values foresight and compassion. The cycle of destruction is a choice, not a necessity. Now is the time for intelligent, humane action before more lives are upended.